You need a plan now. Today, everyone is vulnerable. Despite education, position, or tenure, the phrase job security has become a modern-day oxymoron as the largest national economy on the planet experiences one of its most turbulent periods in modern history. With over 12.5 million Americans currently unemployed, it's all about scaling back and simply holding on to what we have to prepare for what might come tomorrow. Unfortunately, this mindset is the harsh reality for most people. But it doesn't have to be. Such economic turmoil also represents opportunity. An opportunity to help not only yourself, but other people to make more out of life. Prepaid legal services may be your key to more time and more financial independence.
I wound up just going from sort of like dead-end job to dead-end job. At 27, I was back living with my older sister. It was pretty embarrassing. I drove a Geo Metro, and I was introduced to the prepaid legal opportunity and started making money instantly. You know, within 90 days, we had made over $68,000.
By my third month of this business, I was actually able to not only replace but double my income as a full-time teacher.
To be able to make in a month what I used to make in a year at my job with this incredible opportunity, it's just mind-blowing.
My 9th month in the company, I surpassed my 6-figure income, what it took me 21 years to make.
By the end of my third month, I was making about $1,000 a week, which was twice as much income part-time with this prepaid legal opportunity as I was making full-time on my job.
I started my working career off as a janitor. You know, I was making about $20,000 a year, struggling paycheck to paycheck. Got involved in this company, and by my third year, I'd earned over $116,000.
It starts with losing a job, an unexpected illness, a mortgage crisis, a credit crunch, an accident, or injury. These types of changes control our money, our goals, and our lifestyle. With an economy on the edge, a world in turmoil, and an uncertain future, how would you face a legal situation? Could you handle the cost? Would you even know what to expect?
Prepaid legal services was a result of an accident that I was involved in many years ago. I had automobile insurance, which paid for replacing my automobile. I had health insurance, which paid for my time in the hospital. And if I hadn't made it, I had a lot of life insurance on myself to take care of my family. She got the ticket. She was the party that the Highway Patrol said was at fault. I didn't expect somewhere down the road that she was going to sue me. That's the first time that I'd ever been sued. And I can tell you, at that age and at that point in my life, I was just not prepared either financially or emotionally for the problems of a lawsuit.
But in his own hardship, Harlan Stonecipher saw an opportunity. Prepaid Legal Services Incorporated has been helping people just like you earn more, so life doesn't just happen. Founded in 1972, Prepaid Legal Services Incorporated is a publicly traded New York Stock Exchange company that is making a real difference by changing the way middle-income families access the legal system. The reality is that there are three distinct groups of people in North America. The mega-rich top 10% of people who can afford attorneys. The bottom 10% of the population who have access to public aid. And the rest of us, a full 80% of North Americans who can't afford $200 an hour or more attorneys and can't qualify for free legal assistance.
It's a calculation we make someday. We said, you know, someday we'll be sick, and someday we'll need a filling, and someday our kids will wreck our car, and or maybe we'll do it ourselves. And someday we may be sued, or someday we may need to sue somebody that has hurt us. And so what Harlan did is he said, you know, people believe in putting a few dollars down on a regular basis so that they're covered when things happen. And I think it's been a great American success story.
It's a company traded on the New York Stock Exchange, a company that's grown continuously for over a decade, and that's been profiled in almost every major national business publication, including Forbes, Fortune, Money, Black Enterprise, Equities, and Success. Today, Prepaid Legal Services brings peace of mind to 1.5 million families across North America by having an attorney a phone call away when faced with challenging life events. fact is, you're almost twice as likely to end up in court as you are in the hospital. Why? Because bad things happen to good people, too.
I had a credit card charge where I was double billed.
I went to a health club and I bought the big package, and the more you spend, the better you look. Well, long story short, next thing I know, I've got this ridiculous $87 thing on my credit report.
We received a letter from our homeowners insurance informing us that our agent could no longer sell that policy and that they were going to cancel our homeowners insurance.
All of a sudden, I'm getting a letter from collections telling me that I owe them $200.
My husband was laid off of his job, and they told him that they were going to pay him $8,000 if he would sign a letter saying that he would, not sue them.
So I was buying my dream home and, was reviewing all the paperwork, and most folks just sign away without really understanding what you're signing, and I was no different.
With the Prepaid Legal Life Events Legal Plan, you can protect yourself. You have the backing and support to know that in any legal dispute, no matter how large or small, you can stand up for yourself.
A letter from the law firm got my money back.
It was amazing because, one letter sent over to that health club, within 2 weeks it was completely off my credit report.
We called our attorneys at Prepaid Legal Services, and they informed us that the insurance company could not do that they needed to give us an alternative. And as a result of that counsel and direction from our attorneys, we saved a couple of $1,000s, and we would have a much worse policy than we had, and it would have cost us a lot more money. So our Prepaid Legal membership saved us quite a bit.
And they wrote one letter for me on my behalf, and in less than 10 days, the whole balance was cleared and my credit was good, and I'm a happy customer.
We called the attorneys. They wrote a letter on our behalf, and a couple of weeks later, we got a letter back from that company stating our case had no merit, but in the interest of time, they were willing to settle for $64,000.
I had the provider law firm look over the contract for me, and we went back and forth a little bit with the builder, and they found a $1,500 mistake in the contract, but that $1,500 mistake actually led to $30,000 in upgrades in my home, so I was glad I made that call.
For less than the cost of a cup of coffee a day, your Life Events Legal Plan membership provides you with essential legal services that can help with things like foreclosure, warranty issues, severance package questions, contract review, a will to protect your loved ones, and much more. Using your membership is as easy as picking up the phone, and you can begin using your membership right away. You'll also have access to legal assistance 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in the event you're detained after regular business hours. Plus, Prepaid Legal offers you identity theft assistance, and that becomes increasingly important, considering in 2008, incidences of identity theft jumped 22% to 9.9 million cases. Prepaid Legal, in conjunction with Kroll Incorporated, the world's leading independent risk consulting company, has a solution. The Identity Theft Shield is one of the most comprehensive packages available in the market, providing access to your credit report, regular credit monitoring, and most importantly, identity restoration services.
Someone had hacked into my site. They'd gone out there and was using my particular server to sell bogus stuff through an online auction site under my name. I made one phone call to Kroll. They assigned me a licensed investigator, signed over the limited power of attorney, and within 30 days, they did everything. I just had to prove that I was who I was by a utility bill, as well as also through police report. Within 30 days, everything's fixed.